So I will begin in an easier way with our contemporaneity at its most stupid, Pokemon Go. You know it. Pokemon Go, as you know, is a location-based augmented reality game for mobile devices, typically played on mobile phones. Players use the device's GPS and camera to capture, battle, and train virtual creatures, Pokemon, who appear on the screen as if they were in the same real-world location as the players. As players travel in the real world, their avatar moves along the game's map. This augmented reality mode is what makes Pokemon Go different from other PC games. Instead of taking us out of the real world and drawing us into the artificial virtual space where you just stare into a screen, Pokemon Go combines the two. We look at reality and interact with it through the fantasy frame of the digital screen. And this intermediary frame supplements reality with virtual elements, which sustain our desire to participate in the game, pushing us to look for them, for the virtual creatures, in a reality which, without this frame, would leave us indifferent. Does this sound familiar? Of course it does. What the technology of Pokemon Go externalizes is simply the basic mechanism of ideology. At its most basic, ideology is the primordial version of augmented reality. To simplify things to the utmost, did Hitler not offer the Germans the fantasy frame of Nazi ideology, which made them to see a specific Pokemon, the Jew, popping up all around and providing the clue to what one has to fight against? And does not the same hold for all other ideological pseudo-entities which have to be added to reality in order to make it meaningful? Like, you see a lot of suffering. If you are religious, Pokemon God, and you dialogue with him and everything becomes clear. So one can even easily imagine a contemporary anti-immigrant version of Pokemon Go, where the player wanders around a German city and is threatened by Muslim immigrant rapists or thieves lurking everywhere, and so on. But are we not generalizing here too quickly? Is the anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, which makes us see the Jewish plot as the source of our troubles, not radically different from, let's say, the Marxist approach, which observes social life as a battleground of economic power struggles? In Marxism, the secret beneath all the confusion of social life are social antagonisms and not individual agents, which can be personalized in the guise of Pokemon figures. That's why I think you cannot make a Marxist Pokemon game, because some of my German leftists told me, but this is not only Nazism. Why don't we play a Marxist Pokemon game? Like, you walk along the street, you see poor people, and you see Pokemon, which is a big fat banker. And then my answer then was, yes, and this big fat banker looks like a Jew or whatever, you know. Like, you know, ideology is already in this very personalization. So again, to cut the story short, this is why I think Pokemon Go game is such a success. Of course, its first attractive feature, as I already pointed out, is that we do not have on the one side reality and on the other side the screen, like when you play all these big PC games. You, as we say, escape out of reality. No, you remain within reality. But reality is just supplemented by some features like your search for Pokemon figures, which triggers your desire. But my claim is that this structure, again, is the very structure of ideology. For almost, I'm tempted to say, thousands of years, our reality, the way we dwell in our social world, was structured like a Pokemon game. You always need something, the enemy, phantasmatic witches, god, whatever, which a virtual entity added to reality, which makes it meaningful. And that's why, again, so this is for me, this is why this structure of Pokemon Go or structure of augmented reality is our future. It's our future because it was already our past. You know, often what we celebrate as the latest technology just brings out what was active already for a long time.